So we've got this BAFANG rear hub motor in. It's a 48 volt 750 watt model. Probably a little bit hard for you to see, but you know, we'll try our best. Okay. Problem with it, wires are smushed, which I think we've covered before already anyway, smushed wires. But also, don't know if you can hear that. Not meant to do that. Bearings are unhappy. I've already taken the wheel off the bike, undone all the locking nuts here, lots of them, very fun. Cassette's still on, hopefully. I don't have to touch that. The cassette's got a bit of play, but I'll address that later. Main issue is that. So, I've got my T20 Torx bit. All focus. I'm going to pop these out around the edge. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 bolts. It won't just pop out, of course. So if we swap that around like that, we'll line the large nut up with the end of the axle so it's flush, so you can't, there's no axle sticking out. Should be able to see if I zoom out a bit. Both sides of the right here. If you watch this casing here, when I tap this side like that, off it comes. Because we did the trick there, no damage to the axle or the nuts, which is nice. Keep them in the order they came off. 3, that should be it for that. Ah, well, there's your problem. It's a wonder that works at all. Wow, incredible. That is, well, just the worst inside of a motor I've ever seen. Wow, look at that. It's amazing that that even works. That must have been left outside for some time. Wow. Absolutely cream crackered. Look at that. Oh, chocolate milk or what? Look at that. That's nasty. That's proper nasty. Just covered in it. And the so that's the rear of the casing there. And this is the poor motor assembly. Wow. That is not happy. Okay, so I think we're going to have to do quite a bit of cleaning to this to get this all better. If you just see all this, that's just pure rust and filth and oh yeah, that's a very, very unhappy bearing there. So it's not having a fun time. I'm just going to go through all this with the brake clean, toothbrush, get it all cleaned up. I'll be removing the bearings, re-greasing the gears if they're even serviceable. It might need a whole new clutch assembly. Who could say? Probably will, let's be honest. But be doing that. But thankfully this is only a personal bike that's mine. So the motor's a bit noisy. Doesn't bother me. Now that I know what's going on in here. You can't really do too much with it without replacing almost the entire stator. Just the state of its it's really not good. Well, there'll be a lot of that. I'll probably bring you back when I'm done with cleaning it and getting ready to change the bearings, and hopefully this will look a little bit different. Okay, so about an hour later, we've got our clutch assembly off, absolutely ruined. That's just seized solid, that'll need replacing, fine. This was quite fun to get off, but came off. That'll be reusable, nothing really wrong with it. Bit rusty, clean it up. Various clips and doodads will come off it, and then this is the main culprit. So this is the actual stator. I cleaned it up a little bit, but I couldn't get to this side very well. Clean it up more later. They actually seem alright. The hall sensors are all functional. The cable's a bit smushed, but I can address the cable. And then this. This is the main culprit for all our noise. These poor bearings here. You can see down in between them, but just the state of this motor overall, really not good. A significant amount of water's gone to this, and yeah, it's really not great for it. I'll grab my little pick here. Okay, that's what the inside of the bearing was full of. Just whatever that thinks it is. Cream crackered. Just pulled the bearing out, and looks like that. It's not great. One more to go down in there. And for this job, I am removing the bearing, and I'm using a sliding sort of slide hammer bearing puller. So this section here is like a collet. It expands when you do this up on the far side of the bearing, and then you can pull the bearing out, as hopefully we're able to see over here. So get that down through the bearing. So now that's through. Then we want to expand the collet like that, and then it's moving. I don't know if you can see the lip there, but it is coming out. There it goes. And that is so much easier than this one's not that bad, but oh, maybe it is. Doesn't look too hard, does it? So much easier than trying to mess around with anything else there. Once you undo it, you just get your spanners and then this sort of shrinks in, releases the bearing, which, yeah, not great. Get that cleaned up, get some new ones, all done.